listening to Movie Reviews and More with Brian Sebastian, only on LA Talk Radio.
Here we go. It's Brian Sebastian, Movie Reviews and More. It is September, the end of the summer. I call Labor Day the end of the summer, and hot, and all kinds of things going on. First of all, I got to thank Tree Sisters out there for a sponsor, Claire Dubois, and she's in the UK right now, probably traveling to Spain, who knows. But I want to thank the Tree Sisters. I've got to thank Michael San Marco for his donation. Thank you so much, and his jewelry that he has. I want to thank him for that because he's had 2 deaths in the family. So thank you, Michael, out of New Jersey. People out of Denmark, out of the UK, out of Germany, out of London. Thank you so much. And Australia, I've been getting all your stuff from you. Thank you so much. Here we have today, back again, co-host Victoria Renee Plummer. Victoria, good to see you again. And she came in last minute because Brett had a problem. She had to take care of some stuff.
I'm a last resort. It's fine. No worries.
No. It's believe me, you have a fan base you don't even know about. So she said yes, but I wanted them to meet each other. And we have Kirsten Collins.
What is up?
And I call them the world's best social media family. That's me. I call them that, but they deserve it. So I wanted to have her here because she was booked 2 months ago. And I had to go by your schedule, too. But I actually wanted you two to meet each other. And Victoria knew that.
I like her. You know,
yeah.
It's a good thing that she's cute and I like her.
Oh,
she's cute?
You know,
I didn't know that.
Fast friend.
It's just not the one thing you've said all morning. Over and over again.
I just said it.
But the fun thing about having a member of the Collins family, because you guys are a great family, and I've been focusing on you like the last 3 months because everything that you've been doing, and then working your way up to your brother eventually, but I want to have your mom and dad on because Stacy and John are really, really good people, and I like them. Thank you so much for having a great family, that Collins family. Now that you're here and Victoria is here, you guys get to sing. Yes, you guys are going to sing something, which would be great. I don't know what you're going to sing.
Surprise!
Yeah, I don't know what you're going to sing, but you're going to sing something later on.
All right.
But let's talk about,
I have time to think.
now that you met this little knucklehead over here, who happens to be fabulous, who's actually fabulous. You know what I like about her? One thing.
What?
No, it's only one thing. No, she's got a great personality, and I like her bubbly personality and everything like that.
And that's why I
you.
like her, too. I think it was like an immediate, like,
I appreciate this. I'm gonna come hang out with you guys every day. It's like compliments on compliments. I feel like the whole day's made.
My self-esteem is on 1 billion.
Right? It's like I was feeling down here, and now I'm like, all right, I'm on top of the world today. Great.
Now, you've got a really, really busy schedule for stuff, but getting into that schedule, talk about where you came from. You're originally from Calgary.
Yes.
You're a Canadian young lady.
I am. It is interesting. I love being Canadian. But it's
Canadians
cold
rock.
I love that you're Canadian.
Yeah, we're known as the nicest people.
You are.
It's true, I guess.
Yeah, I love all of the Canadian memes. Like, they just make me laugh so hard.
Oh my goodness. I watched this Canadian commercial the other day of this Canadian guy talking about July 1st to like the July 4th American and their neighbors. And the American's like, why do you guys even have July 1st anyways? And it's this whole list of things. It made my whole day. I was like, yes.
This makes so much sense.
All right, see her personality? That's what I like about her. Just one thing. No, there's many, many things. I like the whole family. Talk about, you guys are a really close-knit family, and that's one of the things, that's another thing I really like about the Collins family, because you guys just love to be around each other. I think it was the trips that your dad and your mom and dad were saying, coming down from Calgary to the U.S., spending a lot of time together. Wouldn't you say so?
Oh, definitely. I mean, any family bundled up in a car for over 50 hours is always going to be an enjoyable time that you learn a lot about each other. And I think that, there's always a saying with relationships regardless is that if you don't argue at least once, it's not a real relationship because you don't actually care about fighting for your opinion. You want them to know who you are.
Is that true, Victoria?
You respect their opinion and you want them to agree with you.
It's like, please just love me. Yeah. But that's something I really admire about my family. Yeah, right? Mom, please. Are we there yet? It's my favorite movie. I'm just kidding.
No, I mean, even Kizzy, your younger sister is actually cool. When she first walked into the room, I'm like, this girl's a superstar. She walked in, she had these great glasses on, and she was just dressed. I'm like, wow, she's a superstar. And that's her nickname that I've given her, superstar.
Well, that's a good
Talk
nickname
about
to give
Kizzy.
her.
She's coming next soon.
Kizzy is just multi-talented. She's the youngest of 4, so growing up as the youngest, you watch all your siblings of what they do wrong and good, and you learn from it, you take it, and you make it magic. And so I'm just really proud of her regardless of anything she does.
Does she get away with things that you guys didn't get away with?
Always. But the oldest is always the guinea pig.
Of course.
And I'm the oldest, so I get to be
no.
the guinea pig of the whole thing.
Yeah, you had to tread the way for all the other
Of course.
siblings.
And I'm almost like the mom, like the second mom of the family. Because, like, especially being, like, the oldest girl, you're constantly being like, are you okay? Do you need something?
Oh, you're like a second mom.
Oh,
Right.
yes.
I've actually been the youngest, the oldest, the only, and the middle.
Wow,
Really?
you've experienced them all.
I have, yes.
That is blowing my mind.
I know.
To be honest, I have no
I've
idea
been
how
in
that's
every,
possible.
Yeah.
That's funny.
So I was the youngest when I was born. My sister passed away, so I was the only. And then my little brother was born, so I was the oldest.
Oh,
and
wow.
then my parents got divorced and my mom remarried, and I inherited a stepbrother, so I'm now the middle.
Oh my!
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I've never heard that before.
Most people haven't.
Wow.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I am
Fun
sorry
fact.
about your sister, but
Thank you.
and your parents, but that's
Appreciate it.
you
Well,
learn a lot.
yeah. That I didn't mean for it to take like a dark road, but
Hey,
it was
it's
just,
life, and I think that that's important.
it is life.
Raw conversations.
Yeah, 100%. But most people can't say that they've been in every part of like.
No.
No, I don't think I know one person
Not-
except for you.
Yeah.
You're the only one I know.
I might be the only one in history. I don't know.
That's interesting. You both like to sing, but again, going back to your family, you always knew you wanted to sing, didn't you?
I did.
Going back to maybe 2-3 years old.
18 months actually.
Ooh.
My parents put headphones on my mom's belly when I was in there, and I came out singing. I had my first full on-pitch song at 18 months.
Aww.
And then
What was the
there,
song?
I think it was either Jesus Loves Me or Twinkle Little Star. I forget which one.
Aww.
Ah.
Yep.
That'd be awesome. if
You're
you guys
also
had it
huge on
video.
also social media platforms too.
I guess you could say that.
No, there is no guessing. She is. What's your favorite one? Do you have a favorite one?
I spend my most time on Instagram.
Yeah, Instagram's definitely.
Because I can do the most things on Instagram.
All right.
Yeah.
This is weird. I actually follow what you're doing because I want to know what you're doing next. So I actually
That's a good thing, I guess.
It is
Means I'm
funny,
interested.
and I guess that's the reason why people follow each other, right? I can see what Victoria's doing, so
Yeah.
and I can see her fan base growing, which I think is interesting.
Very.
I'm telling her about fans she doesn't even know she has. Yeah.
Thanks.
You know, it was the coolest thing for me because at first I didn't want to do social media, and
Same.
all of a sudden I posted this picture one day, and I got letters this long about how that one photo or just me talking with somebody made them change their lives, like stop cutting themselves, want to actually live, help their mom, like anything. And at that moment I realized that social media or fame in general is a responsibility, and if I don't understand that, I don't deserve it. And those people are constantly supporting, and like you could never do it without somebody believing in you. And I think that it's the most beautiful thing to actually have tangible proof that people are enjoying and learning and getting inspired from what you do, and you learn right back.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and I think that's what changed my whole view on social media, because the reason why people love it so much is it's intimate. Having conversation like you and me, they get to be a part of growing up with you. It's like you're
Right.
their baby, and it's beautiful, and I love that.
Especially if you have a blossoming career.
Oh, of
because,
course.
They were with you at, 100 views, and then it grows to 100,000 views, and then 1 million views, and like, guess what, guys? Now I'm on a radio show. Guess what, guys? Now I'm
Exactly.
gonna do a song with Mariah or whatever,
Yeah.
And they're like, oh my God, I'm so happy for you. They feel like they're a part of it.
That's funny. You're singing.
What?
You're just, oh my God, I'm happy.
Oh, am I?
That was funny.
My excitement level, my pitch change when I get happier.
I mean,
funny.
that's a good thing to have.
It is
Means
a
that
good
I will
thing to
always
have.
know what you're feeling.
You know where I'm at on my levels there.
I try to keep it monotone. I'm
Yeah.
just kidding. Never happens
Do most
for me.
fans know that what were you, Miss Calgary teen?
I mean, I don't think most fans know that. That was a funny
They
story.
do now, don't they?
They do now. That was an adventure in itself.
See how see how smile?
Yeah.
Talk about it. What
I
happened?
mean, that was the first time I was ever allowed to wear a bikini, and
Wha-
it was on stage. with hair and makeup done in heels. So I'm not sure where my mom was at in this moment.
Oh my.
I learned a lot too because I grew up as like a tomboy, and I'm pretty like chill in what I do. And being in a beauty pageant, you learn so many things about being a girl and like taking care of yourself. And it was interesting for me to watch. Like there was so many poise and like conversations that I had never had before. And so it was very interesting for me to learn stuff about other girls that actually really love this stuff, because I had never done that in my life. And I got to perform on stage with like Carl Wolf, and then there was me, and then they really brought out the music aspect of what I was, and it was like I was honored in that. And so I felt it was like an interesting, awesome time.
Did you do the pageant in the first place for the music part? Did you want to sing? Is that why the talent competition?
No, I just never done it before. My mom was like, yo, let's do it.
Oh, blame it on your mom.
I was like, sure, let's do it.
I know. Look, the pageant system gets such a bad rep on making women like think they have to be this certain thing, but people don't have any idea what it's about at all. It's actually not at all that. It teaches you how to do interviews. It teaches you how to talk to people, how to make friendships with girls that sometimes will last your life, and how to be poised and how to have stage presence. And it teaches you these things that nothing else really can teach you.
No, exactly. And they give awards for it, and you get to dress up pretty.
Everybody likes tiaras, let's be honest.
I got a big one. Don't worry, I repped that for a while. And I think it's really cool too when you get a title, you have to be again responsible for your title and helping the environment and doing things that you believe in. I think that that's what life is too. You should teach people this regardless, is that to be there for one another, and how can you help this situation or make the world better. We can never
get
fix
people
it
behind this. How can you do your part with what God's given you to make the world slightly better?
Exactly.
How important is family to you?
Oh, so important. My goodness, they're my life. Those are my treasures.
I get a kick out of seeing you guys just going out to dinner as a family. I never had that. So that to me, I can live vicariously through you. And I tell your mom and dad about that all the time, because it's special to me. And we talked about this a couple shows ago. Living in Los Angeles, anything can happen to anybody.
Oh, yeah.
It's the strangest thing.
It's so weird.
Victoria gave, her experience of coming and living in the rough part of North Hollywood.
Yeah. No, there is such thing. I'm not kidding.
No, I believe you. I do believe you. I got my tire pop there on New Year's Eve one time.
Did you really?
It was
like
really
popped like straight up like a knife.
Like there it was. And I was like, sweet. Never parking cars here again.
You know what?
Really?
F your tire.
Yeah.
Like, what's the point of that? I don't get it.
I mean,
but
someone
whatever.
was probably just really excited that it was the new year. I don't know.
Wow.
But they're like, let me destroy someone else's.
Yeah, makes sense.
I made a good time out of it anyways.
Okay,
Some
that's
guy
good.
who was really
AAA.
awesome, one of my friends, he was in a tuxedo and never changed a tire before, and we made him do it, and we were just watching and laughing. It was amazing.
Did you Snapchat
Was it a
it?
success?
I did.
You did, didn't you?
I did. Well, actually, some guy across the street who worked in tires, he came and helped us.
Okay.
But it was really funny, and it made a moment. And
Okay.
I'll never forget it. So
See, gotta find the silver lining in every situation.
yeah, it's hard at times,
It
but that's
is.
okay.
It probably really wasn't very funny in the moment.
I mean, I was laughing,
But
I had
looking
pie.
back-
I'm sure you were laughing.
Did you say because you had pie?
I think I had pie. I had something. I was eating something, and food always makes me happy. So
Oh my God, me too. I love food so much, especially pie. Actually, I'm more of a cake
See, I love
person.
apple pie.
see, I'm a cheeseburger
He
person.
is a freaking lover
That's right.
of apple pie.
I get people, I tell them around the world, you want to get on my good side? Send me an apple pie. And I've had them sent from Australia,
I sent you an apple
Boston.
pie.
You did. It was delicious.
Well, now I know what
I
to
said it only
give
took
you.
me 10 minutes to eat it.
The
It would
whole
have took
thing.
me 3.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do I see like a pie eating competition coming?
Absolutely.
Pie contest.
You pick the place, I'll be there.
All right, sounds good.
State
I know
fair
a
at
good
the
place.
radio show.
You were talking about how important family was.
Yes. Well, I mean, to be honest, I grew up as family is everything. I mean, I've had my parents' support since I was a child, and my siblings have always been there supporting me as well, and me vice versa. And we learn off of each other. I think that there's always a good thing of like, it's like a good competitiveness, where you can bounce off of each other in different aspects of, oh, this is cool or this is, and it gives drive. And that's something that I really admire about my family, is that we're always pursuing something. and all very just love God and just, chill, and people are important to us. And that's what I really love about my family.
I like the fact that you guys support each other, and it's almost like you guys cross mingle. You have busy schedules and everything like that, and everybody's doing their own thing, and then you come together, and it's good. It's almost like a reunion that I see. It's fun to see.
It is. It's really cool. It's fun for me to see too. As you get older, always families have their own lives and different things, but we always make it important to even have game nights or
I love game nights.
We don't really get to eat together a lot, but this weekend we did, and it's just fun to kind of experience that again.
I know that makes your parents happy because everybody's busy doing everything out there,
yeah. Well, mom doesn't want to see their kids. Or
of course.
True. Favorite influencers? Did you have any?
I haven't really had a lot. I learn from a lot of people, but my siblings are probably my favorite.
Okay.
But that's just because I'm biased, first off. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I also love a lot of other people, but I've never really gone deep into what my favorite or who my favorites are. I think that I really respect a lot of different people for a lot of different reasons. I think it's the same as if I go to every different country in the world, I'm going to learn something new about myself and other people. And so that to me is important. It's just how I've always been.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah, there's so many influencers. It's like really, it depends on what you like, especially
and
fitness.
what time I'm at in my life,
Right.
I could be at a season where I'm really looking into fashion, or I'm really looking into somebody that's like,
I go through those
too,
yeah.
or food. I'm like, I just want food.
Yeah.
Where's my food?
Where did you get this?
Exactly.
I'm going to go there.
So it's and there's always somebody new popping up, and it's exciting to be a part of that journey as well. So
exactly. That's true.
Victoria, give your website.
www.victoriaplummer.net.
Kirsten?
I don't have a website, so everything.
You got everything else.
Kirsten Collins, search that in Google, and I will show up.
Absolutely, she will.
You go.
At Kirsten
Even
Collins
my old
Music.
photos, you can just be like,
Even
what?
the ones that I don't want to be on there.
Exactly, right? It's always those old Facebook photos. It's you smiling and with me braces, and I'm like, hee.
Oh, I love that.
I love it. It's great.
I always wanted braces.
It helped me in my life.
Braces are a good thing. Glasses too. I remember when I was really little, I faked it. I was like, Mom, I can't see anything. and then, so she takes me to the eye doctor, and he was holding giant letters in front of me, and I'm like, is that a Z? It was like an F. He was
I don't even know how to feel about this. I have glasses, so I'm wearing contacts right now, but it is nice to have options. There's certain people you always want what you don't have.
That's so true.
Who doesn't want that? It's oh, you have curly hair, I have straight. Can you give that to me? Once you have curly hair, I want straight hair. It's oh, you have a braid, I want a braid.
Yeah. That's so true. Especially braids. I'm really bad at braiding.
Oh, same. I've had to learn, and then I do it, and then there's always this one loop outside, and I'm like
I can do it technically, but it looks really bad,
I understand you. It's okay.
All right.
I didn't even brush my hair the past 2 days, so
yeah. Brushing your hair is a thing of the past.
Don't brush your hair. I'm just kidding.
We're trying to get dreads.
I was trying to brush mine.
Well, yours needs brushing.
Yeah, yours doesn't need to be brushed.
Someone said not too long ago, can we just be nice to each other without any judgment?
Can we?
You know who said it?
Not without God. That's for sure.
She said it.
Amen.
Oh, yeah, I said it. I guess
You're
She
right.
did. She said, why are the people mean to each other? Can't we just get along without, or be honest without judgment? That's
honest
what she
without
said.
judgment.
And I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah. Because people, here's what it is. In my opinion, I think that people don't realize that they have a plan for their life. There's a plan for their life. And just because one person shines brightly doesn't dim your candle or whatever that saying is. It's it doesn't have to be one or the other. Both of you can live your purpose simultaneously.
Definitely. I think too, I've been a person that's judged people in my life. I'm human. But every time I've had to be you know what? I repent of that, to be honest, because it's not my place to, and I can never say to somebody, okay, don't do that, and I can be a hypocrite in it. Mm-hmm. But as long as I'm learning from it and say, you know what, I'm taking 2 looks at each side, and I'm like, okay, I see your point and I see mine, and I want to understand this, and even if I can't understand this, I'm going to give it to you, and I'm going to give it to God, and I'm going to be like,
and let it
Lord,
go.
help me to just forget, you know? And I think that's why I wrote that this morning, is because, I mean, even myself, I've been hurt by, you know, people's words or judgment on things. And, I mean, even when I left Canada, I had judgment letters, and it was like,
really?
It was from close people, and I was like, oh, no, like, you know, it's funny how usually those people come back to you when you're big.
Always, yeah.
But you have to bless them, because the thing is that revenge isn't a good tactic either, no matter how much you want to use it.
It's not. And
Yeah.
you should let revenge happen on its own without you having to do anything, you know? Like, let that
Smile
just be
and wave,
said. Right.
Like the penguin
Kill
said.
them with kindness.
In Madagascar.
Victoria, what's the craziest thing a fan has done for you? Have you had one of those yet?
The craziest thing?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
And Kirsten, in case you haven't known, she sang at NAMM earlier this year on the stage, and it was fun seeing her on stage singing.
I want to see this. I feel left out. I'm going to see it
Next year.
after.
Tell her who you were singing with.
Oh my gosh, I was singing with Beyonce's house band. It was the best thing ever.
Well, now I have to see it.
Yeah,
It's there.
we've got it.
Good.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to see it after.
It was exciting to see, I have to say, and I don't
was
really get
fun.
excited, but it was exciting
Yeah,
to see.
it was for
up there.
the
Honesty.
lead singer of Garbage was being honored, Shirley Manson, right? Manson, and so they asked me to sing her song.
Wow.
It only, what was the song called? Do
I get a piece of it here
It
live?
only when it rains. It only what when it rains?
Yeah,
I sang
that's
this
what it
song
was.
and I can't think of it.
I
That's
have
what
the
it
same
was.
problem. It's okay.
Yeah, my brain's just like.
I understand you.
But
lyrics.
yeah, so I was like so nerve wracking because she was there and I'm singing her song
Well, that's an
in front of her.
honor.
But it was such an honor, and she was so lovely. I mean, she came up afterwards and she was like, you know, congratulations, that was so nice. And I was like, oh my god, thank you. Like trying not to fangirl.
Yeah. Thank you.
You too. Yeah.
Yeah, you too.
Your whole life. Okay, bye.
Okay, bye. You know, you just stand there. You're welcome.
Yeah. Could you imagine? She's like, you're welcome. Thanks.
No, it's
welcome.
fun to see both of you sing. I mean, we went to go see her sing in North Hollywood, and it was fun to see her sing.
Oh yeah, you told me you were going to.
It was definitely an interesting adventure too, because
it?
my keyboard completely broke.
Yes.
I met a random dude who beatboxed for me,
Mhm.
and I just
That's
I
awesome.
wung the
She
whole
just
thing.
flung it,
Do
which
you
was great.
have that? Were you singing your own songs or do you sing covers usually?
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I write most of my songs on the spot when I perform
what?
because it's just fun for me. But I usually sing my own songs. I sang a couple covers, but
Yeah.
yeah,
It's nice to have a song out there that everybody is really familiar with.
of course,
But
always.
it's fulfulling to sing your
And
own
then
songs.
soon it'll be like everyone knows my song, and then I'll
Right.
put that out, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just keep on keeping on.
Keep on going.
Yeah, you had some people come out to see you, and I thought that was great. It was like the last two songs, and I don't remember what they were, but they were catchy. I actually liked them.
He always okay. Let me preface really fast. I'm sorry for touch. He does. I know some people like really don't like being touched, and then some people are just like really handsy. I'm handsy, and I have to be like, oh, don't touch people.
I'm in between, so it's
Okay, cool.
I
am
bother.
too. I actually go through. I'm like, I'm okay with it sometimes, and then sometimes I'm like, I don't want anyone
Depends
to touch
who
me
you
ever.
are,
Yeah, totally.
what you're doing.
Oh my god, I just completely.
Oh, you were talking about I always do something. That's what it was.
It was. Oh, Brian always says actually, like it's a shocking factor, but he doesn't mean it the way that he says
You know, I'm
it.
actually having fun here.
I actually don't care.
I'm actually.
I better leave at this point. Why did I
This took
promote
a
this?
turn. She just throws the headphones
I'm
down. Not even using these.
The
That's
true
funny.
colors just poured out.
No, I almost said actually. I did. No, I really wanted you two to meet because your energies fit each other, and I like the playfulness, and I thought it would just work.
It does. Let's do this every Tuesday.
Every Tuesday. What's up?
No, I'm booked.
I mean, maybe he actually will like us.
I actually do like you guys.
I actually like your music. Like he was expecting not to. In fact, I think you told me when you first met me you wanted not to like my music, but you were like, I did.
Yes, I did say that.
And
the reason for that is because I used to be a music director, so I knew I had to pick the right things, just like picking the right movies. I don't want people to come out, and and that's why I said I actually came to pay to come see you. I don't do that.
Well, I
I just
appreciate that
don't.
highly.
I don't have the time to. I'd rather stay home,
Yeah.
I'd rather watch a movie, but it's important to support the Collins family. You guys are really important to me for various reasons. I just like you guys. You guys are a good family.
It's a mutual agreement here.
Yes, your mama said that, which is nice. No, but that's the case.
That's
You know,
actually
I think
mutual.
it's like if you like your favorite band or you're going to want to go see your favorite artist or celebrity, you go out to
Especially
support them.
local artists.
So it's like I would
Yes.
go see you on tour. I'm looking at
you.
that. And speaking of the tour, talk about where you're going. She's like, oh yeah, that's right.
I'm going
and what
to-
happens September 1st?
Oh, my
See?
single.
Oh.
Ooh, ooh. Okay, I released A Better Tomorrow. It's on iTunes. It's on all streaming
You better go
platforms.
hear it.
Listen, it's the proceeds go to St. Jude, so you're gonna have music that inspires you, and you can also help actually make a difference in the world. People always talk about how terrible everything is, and they just complain about how this is actually a chance to help make a difference in someone's world. So please go
important.
buy the song on iTunes. Victoria Renee, A Better Tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah.
better
And your
go do it.
tour.
And I'm going to be in Memphis on
You're leaving
the
September 26th.
Uh-huh. I think my show is the 28th, and then I go to Graceland, and then I go to Nashville, and I have a show on the 30th, and I have a show on the 29th in Nashville.
And that will be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Woo! Raise the roof.
So when you went to China,
When I went to China,
talk about that experience. And this is interesting because you went by yourself.
I went twice. The first time I went twice this year. The first time I went with my sister and my friend. And it was such an adventure. Like, going to a new space where you have no idea
Oh, wait a
what the
minute.
language
You went
is.
to a communist country.
I did. And I also talked.
You brought Kizzy with you?
Yeah, I had Kizzy and my
Wow.
my friend, and it was so funny. Like, it was just a wild adventure. We literally, the flight there, you lose a day, and then it's 13 hours, and then my friend lost his ticket, so we had to stay the
Ooh.
night at the airport and
Oh
change
my
our
gosh.
flights. Then we flew in, and then we drove. We went on a train for 4 hours, then drove 4 hours. Then I arrived at the place I was supposed to perform 30 minutes before, and then I had to get ready in that 30 minutes and then go perform on stage.
No.
First time in my life that I just was like, I cracked on stage. I was like,
How was your
it so
performance?
fun.
I was going to ask you how
Yeah,
you performed.
I did great, and I was performing in front of like a lot of great people, and it was cool. But it was definitely
Wow.
too short of a time for me to even enjoy it. And so the second time I went by myself, and I was
You
like,
went
yeah,
by
yeah,
She
yeah.
had to go
to
back for
China.
more by herself.
I went back up. Well, here's the funny thing. I was like, Lord, I need a vacation by myself. I need to go away. All of a sudden, it's like China. I was like, out of all the places in the world, you choose China. And it was really awesome in the ways that I got to see a whole other culture.
Yeah.
And I got to learn things about myself. And it's not the places I went, because I went all the outskirts of China, so I didn't even get to go to the main cities.
You know, it's funny. Victoria's eyes like all the places she went to learn by herself. China.
Yeah, right.
I would love that.
China.
I think it's so.
I
freaking
actually like
cool
it.
that you have the cojones to be like, I need a vacation by myself, and you just did it. Like, that's a scary thing to do.
Oh my goodness.
And
yes.
where in China?
Oh my goodness. I went.
Was it Shanghai?
I went to Yibu. No, I didn't get to go to the main things. I went to Yibu, Hangzhou, Langqing, and Chongqing.
Wow.
I think that's what they are called. And
I
I learned two things: Kumbei, which means bottles up or bottoms up, I forget. and then Wohaini, which means I love you.
oh, Heine?
No, Wohaini.
Oh. I was like, oh, Heine. I'll remember that.
I remember that one. No, Wohaini.
Well, Heine.
Yeah.
Oh, I probably still said it wrong.
So, and your name is Wu Shu.
Here we are,
Uh-huh.
Wushu Kirsten.
Exactly.
I don't even know what that is. Is that
Yeah,
true?
you know it's my name.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, there you go.
Yeah, see, you
Wushu
knew.
Kirsten.
Oh.
Wow, I did that all by myself.
You did.
See? She knows Chinese.
Talk about what it's like, both of you, to tour.
Oh, wow. I would love to do more and more touring.
Yeah.
I think that it's probably the best time of my life. It's exhausting, but amazing. The
Yeah.
stage is my home.
Right. We were talking about that. Was it last week?
Uh-huh.
The being on stage is in my opinion, the best part, because you get the chemistry with the people, and then it just happens, and you don't even know it's a magic.
I mean, I even like the lights.
Yeah,
I just love being on stage.
Yeah, it sometimes for some people, at least for me, it makes me feel like the best version of myself you know, where you're just like, oh, okay, this is where I live.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah. Always been my home. I mean, when I was a kid, this is something I really had to learn, though, is that because I could sing in front of millions and millions of people all the time. But until I learned how to sing in front of one person directly, I didn't know how to perform, because singing in front of a million people is singing in front of a million individuals. And, like, that is the biggest thing I had to learn.
It's a big difference.
It is.
It's like, I was always okay with singing in front of one person or singing in front of, like, a million people. But singing in front of a group of, like, 12 was weird for me. You know, it just was.
With a smaller, was the word, so there's that, it's almost like a comedian not having that one person in the room who's not laughing. Is smaller venues trip you out?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Well, because it's more intimate space. There's more, you can see everyone's facial expression.
Oh.
You can hear the comments.
Oh.
You're kind of there as, like, here you are face to face. And so it's a good thing, though. You learn a lot, but it's more challenging, in my perspective, to have that.
Yeah.
Victoria, that's the same thing for you, right?
Sort of. I don't know. I feel like people in that environment, I don't do dive shows very often, but I've done shows that are like smaller. But I think there's more of a social responsibility to pay attention in those instances.
Yep.
Whether you're, you know, so I don't do a lot of like dinner shows like that. I feel like that would just bother me if people were
Talking.
Yeah. Yes. But I would take it as like competition. Like, you're going to listen. You know what I mean?
Whether you like it or not.
Yeah, like you take that and you make it, let's see how well I can grab the room.
Yeah, right?
That's good, yeah.
Kind of. Yeah. I don't know.
Fashion. When it comes to fashion, is there anybody particular you like to wear?
Oh, no. I love finding, like, the weirdest stuff on Melrose or, like, online and just buying that.
Uh-huh. You talked about that last week, didn't
I
you?
did talk about this last week. Yeah, I always shop online. Or Melrose. I think that's some of the things I wore last week
Or other
were from
countries. That's, like, one of my favorite things.
Yeah. Well, online is probably from other countries.
Most of the time. Most of the time.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Just go to the smallest town
It's
somewhere.
actually hard to find clothes that are made in the U.S. because...
Oh, definitely.
You know, I have a friend who had a shoe company, and she was having everything made in the U.S., and she wasn't making any money. She didn't want to have to go to China, but she did because it was the only way that she would break even. You know?
Oh, yes.
So
Yeah.
it's just, it's a tough, the company won't stay in business. But it was a very, very small company, but nonetheless, I don't know.
Well, even the big
obviously,
companies do it,
obviously
so.
we prefer, you know, U.S. made, but
Yes,
it's hard.
I agree.
I don't know where we're shopping when we buy stuff online.
Is-
Gonna start
do you-
knitting.
Do you just see something and it just catches you that you like and said, I'd like to try this or anything like that?
Yes. If
Yeah.
I see something instantaneously and I get excited, I buy it. If I don't like something instantaneously, then I don't buy it.
Mm.
Okay, yeah.
That's what I do, though.
That's actually, I think I do the same thing. It's like when you're scrolling through a page and then something stops your eye, that's the thing you usually buy.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, this one stands out on a page of 100.
I mostly like to have tangible stores, though. That's what I love. I love shopping, like actually going shopping.
Yeah.
That to me is exciting because I like going out and I like the people and I like having my cup of coffee and I like, or my tea, and I love having my burger in the other hand. And then I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, those shoes. And I was like, swipe the card.
I just gotta find the time to actually do it is a thing. Because like usually when I'm like, I'm in the mood to shop, it's like 8 o'clock at night, or, you know?
Well, this is why I don't shop online, because if I did that, I would shop all the time because I don't have time to go shopping. So when I do, it's a
Right.
special thing, so I
That
can
makes
actually
sense.
shop. You know,
That makes
otherwise all
sense.
my money would be gone.
Yes.
I'd
I
go
love
buy a
going
Tesla.
to.
Yeah.
I woke up in a new Bugatti. I don't. Okay.
Like, awesome.
So weird. No one even
Cool.
talked about contracts. I just like they just gave it. Anyway, so there. I like going to like
That kind of
Chinatown
morning.
or the fashion district in LA.
That
you
is
never
a great
know
place.
It
to go.
is.
what you're gonna find there.
I've even gone
You
down
never
there.
know
It's a
who
great
you're going to
place.
find there.
That's true.
That's true, too.
Yeah.
Who did you find down there?
A lot of people.
A lot of people.
Did any of your fans recognize you down there?
Not down there. No.
Okay.
No.
Is that strange where you just want to be by yourself? You're going to go do your thing. and all of a sudden someone comes up and says hi. I'm like, oh, that's right. I'm so and so.
It's happened to me at least once before where I wasn't prepared for it because I was like, oh, I'm totally fine. And I think that you have to realize, like, when you're out, then you have to be, like, not cautious, but it's almost like you're representing yourself.
Yes.
And when you forget you're representing yourself, you kind of I will just, like, slouch. Or, like, I'll, like, eat a lot really fast. Or, like, I'll talk really loud. And, like, these are things about me that I don't hide. But it's almost like you're like, oh, I hope that I, looked a little bit presentable. You know what I mean?
Yes. I went to a movie with Link. He's my fiance. I don't know if I prefaced.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And we were going to a movie. We were like the Americana or something. And there was this little girl, and she stops and gasped, and she looked at me, and I was like, oh, like I must have like stepped on her ice cream cone. I don't know. I don't know what happened. And she was like staring. I was like, hey, like, she was like, are you Victoria Renee? And I was like, do I have a name tag on? Like, I didn't know why she like knew. And then she was like, oh my gosh, I'm a big fan. And I took a picture with her and stuff, but I was not at all prepared.
Where did she recognize you from?
YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's just funny because I guess she saw the Just a Fool video.
Oh, okay.
And she was just like, oh. And her friend, it was just really interesting.
It's weird, huh?
Yeah.
Doesn't it make you feel grateful at the same time? But it caught you off guard.
Yeah, it did. I didn't really know how to react. I was like, oh, hey, like, are we friends? Or
yeah, exactly.
Do I know you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it's funny. I was walking on Beverly Boulevard and Beverly Hills one time, and this car came up and gotten right in front of me, and the guy got out and took a picture of me, and then he got in the car and drove off. I'm like, what was that? And then I was upset. I'm like, why'd that guy take my picture? Who did he think I was? And I'm like, how do I get my picture back? Because I wanted to know who the guy was. And I was like bothered by that for like years.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think he thought I was someone else. No. I think he thought I was someone else. But I was like, that tripped me out.
My stepdad has the best one. He was, I don't know where he was, some really small town somewhere. And he's like really tall. He's like 6'3", slender. And these two ladies in this convenience store were like, hey, will you take a picture with us? And he was like, what? She was like, they're like, Harrison Ford. He was like, no, I'm not Harrison Ford. And she was like, don't worry, we won't tell anyone your secret. And he's like, I'm literally not Harrison Ford. And somewhere in middle America, these two women have pictures of my stepdad on their fridge telling people it's Harrison Ford.
That's funny.
They just did
Best story I've ever heard. I hope that happens to me one day.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, Kendrick Lamar? Yeah, that's me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's me.
Lyricist over here.
Favorite music. This week, what's his name? I forgot. I'm sorry. One of my favorite bands, Steely Dan. And one of the members passed away. And you didn't really know who he was, but they were like really jazz, rock, great band. And it seems like we're losing a lot more people, unfortunately, like the last 5 years. So it's really, really sad. Mm-hmm. When you were growing up, was there anybody who's not with us anymore that you would have loved to have met and or sang with?
Oh, yeah, Michael Jackson,
yeah,
definitely.
Michael Jackson.
I was this close to meeting him, too.
Oh.
I was like, no.
Oh,
but
man.
that's okay.
You have met Randy.
I have.
Anybody
He's
else
wonderful.
from the other Jackson clan? Anybody yet?
I did. I just forget when. I met his, I think Michael Jackson's nephew, was it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
because,
his mom.
people forget that, you come to a lot of red carpets and do a lot of events, and you just may be out, and all of a sudden you're bombarded by things and people, and you've met people over the years that you may not remember.
It's
Actually, do you remember what his name is? I think I know who you're talking about.
Austin.
Yeah.
Austin Brown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he does music. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's funny.
If you were to sing something off the top of your head, what would it be?
Off the top of my head?
Yeah, just like right now.
I don't know. I could sing part of Better Tomorrow.
Let me hear it. She hasn't heard it.
Okay. Oh my gosh, you guys. Really on the spot.
Hey, you're next, so you better have something too.
Pop on the head. Where am I going to sing?
All right. I'll start from the bridge. Here we go. Well, let me think of what the bridge is, actually. Got it. We share this place, we all belong. Light the way till dark is gone. Walking away still means you're strong. Rise above. Hope isn't gone. We have to restore this planet's soul. Teach it something more than what we know. Give it water, give it sun, room to grow. I can see a better tomorrow. I can see a better tomorrow.
That's nice.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
That's
You
nice.
really belt it too. She's like, yeah, don't worry about it.
What do you got up your sleeve?
I was gonna sing "Somewhere Over the Rainbow."
You could. I love it too.
All right, let's see if I remember these lyrics. I'm gonna make them my own if I don't. All right, here we go. Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, there's a land that I heard of once in a lullaby. Someday I wish upon a star where something happens and I'm far behind me, where trouble melts with lemon drops, away above the chimney tops. That's where you'll find me somewhere.
That's nice.
You're not gonna finish?
That's nice.
I forgot all the lyrics. I think it's like,
Oh, we should have harmonized.
I was waiting
That'd
for
be
you
fun.
to.
That'd be
Okay,
fun.
go do lead.
Oh gosh.
Oh
Where are we
wait,
even
but
starting?
I have to find a parallel. So, somewhere. Is that where you start?
Some.
I'm fine.
Over the rainbow, way up high, there's a land that I heard of once in a lullaby. I always forget the next part.
Someday I'll wish upon a star and I wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where troubles melt like lemon drops, way above the chimney tops. That's where you'll find me. Yeah,
Where?
something like that. I don't know. That
Now
was
you know
totally
what?
off the
You know
line.
why I like that song? Because the Cavaliers from Rosemont, Illinois, that was like their theme song to walk off with the field with.
that's
and
interesting.
it's really nice. It's almost like You'll Never Walk Alone or like Memories. So
yeah.
drum corps, they would have themes like that. So you look forward to doing that, and it made it that thing. And then people would want to go and see the movie.
Oh, that's kind of dope.
That is cool.
Yeah.
I love the song in general.
It's like
It is great.
Memories. That song Memories. I love that because I heard it from a drum corps.
That one? From Cats?
Yes. Yeah. That's
That's
one
a
of my
great
favorite.
song. Oh, I was beautiful then. Only right?
Uh-huh.
I love that song.
I didn't know the lyrics. I just knew the beats, the harmony of it. As being a percussionist, that's why.
Be like,
Now a new day has begun. Yeah, I remember.
That's
that
interesting
song.
how you guys think. And then when you get behind the plexiglass, all kinds of things must be going through your minds, huh? You're like, no, what's this black guy talking about?
I'm confused on the question.
In the studio.
Oh,
Yeah.
got it.
Yeah.
The studio.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, as a lot and then also nothing at the same time. Does that make sense? Like
Yeah.
my
Depends.
subconscious has a lot going on, and
Yeah.
then
My
also
conscious is
just
like-
sing. Yeah.
I was watching a documentary on, it's on Netflix. It's actually really good, actually. On,
Actually, again.
Nat King Cole. And he, if you don't know about Nat King Cole, he actually is responsible, him and Frank Sinatra, for building Capitol Records.
Oh.
He
Wow.
and he was that first black artist who just sang and everybody loved him, liked him, and he was just great.
Wow.
It was interesting, and they were talking about that, him behind just one take and then having a perfect pitch.
Wow.
Yeah. So when you're that black artist like that and you're selling these back in the 40s and 50s, selling all these records, and you can't be singing live in the South just due to segregation. That's amazing at that point.
Yeah, no kidding.
So that just made me think about that.
Music is such a universal thing. Like, it shouldn't matter what it's coming from. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or like whose mouth, or if you, like, everybody loves music, right? I mean,
well, he was the first African American to have his own TV show for 60 weeks, but they couldn't play him in the South because the South wouldn't play him. They wouldn't play a black artist on there.
I actually did a song from Ben Peters, one of his original songs, and Ben Peters got a Grammy he wrote the song that got a Grammy for the first black recording artist ever in history. I was like, that's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah. Their whole family is so awesome. Jackie Peters is his widow.
Yep.
Widow. I was like, widower? No, backwards.
When you're working with those great artists, you've worked with a lot of great producers. Do you get excited about that moment? Hey, I'm going to be working with so-and-so? Or is it now like, well, I look forward to working with some, but it's just another gig?
That depends. It depends. I think that if I see anyone passionate about what they're doing and they also are passionate about me being there, and then it's a respectful agreement, and also I've seen all the history and honoring them for what they've done, I think then I get excited.
Yeah.
If I come into a moment where I don't feel very honored myself, and I feel like there's no point in me being here, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Then I just get a little discouraged, and I'm like, well, I honor you and what you've done, but obviously we can't work together. I think that it's different,
Yeah.
Different for people.
That's interesting. That sounds like an interesting story behind that. I'm not going to ask you. But
I mean, I think it just happens in all industry things. You know?
Of course it does, but that sounded like specific. But
actually, it was crazy. One producer I went and worked with, amazing producer, amazing person. I went in there and God removed my voice instantaneously and said, "You cannot sing here." Like,
really?
I tried to sing and nothing came out of my mouth. So I think that, I believe in God, and I know that He is my biggest agent, and so it's crazy to watch as He directs you and and you get discernment in your spirit of where I should be and where I shouldn't. Right. And it doesn't harm in that manner or regard. If someone comes up to you and says, "I would love to work with you," it's not that you don't want to work with them. Sometimes it's just not the right timing, or it's not your place yet to be there.
That makes sense.
Or it shouldn't happen because it's someone else's time in that direction.
Right. Or you didn't understand why it wasn't your time yet, and then you were like upset, and then later on you realized that just happened to me. Why you have to trust God's timing sometimes.
Oh, definitely.
And
it's so different than ours.
Oh man,
I'm like, I want a burger now, and he's like, no, you gotta wait 30 minutes.
Yep, you just gotta be like, okay, I trust you. I'm hungry though, but okay.
But in everything, and it's really a beautiful thing.
When it comes to movies, music soundtracks and movies, do you have like one or two or three that you like? For instance, for me, I've always liked West Side Story. I just love that. Anything that just if it ain't got that swing, it ain't got that thing, kind of thing like that.
Which is cool.
Yeah.
Ain't got that swing. What is that? It don't mean a thing
if it ain't got that swing. Do-bop, what up?
Yeah. Why
Do you have a film like
What
that?
Is that?
That you like?
Oh, I like Tarzan.
Really?
Did you a dope acapella in that movie though?
Dope.
Yeah. I can't think of what it is.
I forget the one song I love with all the gorillas at
Do up, she do.
There you go.
Yep.
That's the song?
Yep. I
forget
can't
how
think
it
of the
starts.
rest of
I was
it.
singing yesterday all day, and it's like now today I'm like there you go.
Oh, do the Dukes. That's a good one to harmonize to. She do.
I remember that.
Yeah, I love all of those Disney tracks. I
That's
think
Alan
You
Menken,
like Disney too, right? Oh, Alan Menken is great.
Everything he's ever done ever in his life.
it's just beautiful.
You know what else I liked was Mary Poppins.
Mary Poppins.
I
Such a
did.
good
I loved
one.
it. So I look forward to the remake. I think.
They're making a remake of so many movies like The Lion King.
yeah.
Incredibles 2 is coming out.
Oh, I love The Incredibles.
Oh, I'm so excited.
So many.
They're making a new Toy Story.
Again?
Yeah.
Toy Story 36 is coming out?
I
Yeah.
think so.
I'm not mad.
Yep.
They've hit every single one of them right on the nail.
I mean,
Is
Disney
that what the
doesn't
saying is?
mess up, to be honest.
They don't. Mm-mm.
I don't think they have time to mess up.
No.
When it
no.
comes to
They're an
branding,
empire.
I know you guys are really specific in what you like to have. I'm sure you have lots of things thrown at your way. Anything specific that you look forward to doing, or just certain things out there that you can't talk about yet, but you're enthused about?
Yeah, I'm about to release my first single. So
Yay.
I have literally waited my whole life for this moment because I decided to wait in a lot of aspects. So I'm really excited about that. And
What's the name of it?
I can't say that.
Oh, okay.
yet.
All right.
I will. Keep up to date. and
Okay, I
it'll
will.
come out. But also, I think touring is my favorite thing. Of course,
Mm.
I want to go around the whole world. So
Yeah.
that's what I would love to do.
I would go see you guys any place.
Good in China.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Probably
would,
good to see it from
because
Miller.
I think it's fun to see people outside the realm of things, and then when you run
definitely.
into them, you're not expecting someone to be there.
That's
fun.
The best.
I used to
Like,
do
wait,
that.
What? You here?
Yeah.
No, I literally flew into
can.
Australia to see a friend sing over there, and she was flabbergasted. I'm like, yeah, I believe in what you're doing, and I think it's important. It's just showing support.
Of course.
Now you got the successful family, and we didn't talk about anybody. Talk about your good friends or your brother Chris.
My brother Chris.
Uh-huh.
I mean, he's just wonderful. I love him to bits.
Yeah, you did.
Very
That's
straightforward,
funny.
folks.
Yes. And when you guys are collaborating, I love that give and take on things. And with Crawford and with Chrissy, too. I find that fascinating.
Yeah, it's always fun to do collaborations with my siblings. I mean, you get the family dynamics of things, and you get to bounce off each other, and I think that that's something that you can't buy.
No, you can't.
That's cool. Do you guys actually just sit at home and write together ever?
Not anymore, no,
But
because we
you
don't
used to.
live together. But
Yeah.
for the most part, we get to bounce off each other in other aspects, and we go to each other's houses and have parties and
Oh.
be like, "I love you. Let's write a song."
No, I think
Love
that's
that.
cool. I mean, I think I saw one of your videos. Was it almost like carpool karaoke? That was pretty cool. It wasn't a karaoke. It was something, but it was fun to see you guys in the car singing.
Oh yes, I think that was with Kurt Hugo Snyder's video.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was a lot of
I
fun.
watched that 4 or 5 times. It was pretty cool.
It was a lot of fun. Kurt is awesome too.
Can you
Very-
talk about what that was like to film that?
I mean, I drove in circles, and it was great. I got to dress up fun, and yeah, there's nothing like it, you know?
That was funny. That's
Drove in
that's
circles
funny.
for hours.
You talked
Working
about
together.
people that you wanted to meet. Mariah Carey.
Yeah, I would love to meet Mariah Carey, Rihanna, Justin Timberlake.
And you will.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've actually met quite a few people. I would love to meet all of them in a respectful manner of just mutually agreeing to want to meet each other.
Yeah.
I think that's always been one of my goals is that, I mean, I've been in places where I could be like, oh my gosh, how are you doing? But I feel like then I become a fangirl or a groupie
Yeah.
in some
Yeah.
aspects.
You want to meet them in the right circumstances.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think that it's important to know that timing. So, yeah.
Well, Victoria, when you were in the dressing room back in January doing that, what was that like for you? Because what you're talking about was almost the same thing.
What?
You're a fan of everybody, and you're singing someone's song,
Oh, yeah.
but at the same time, you're in that
I shared
realm with them.
Yeah, I shared a rehearsal space with Lita Ford, like half very, 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 very small rehearsal space. Beyonce's tour director, like all these people. It was just a lot of really artistic people in a very small space, and a lot was firing. That sounded bad. It wasn't bad. It was good.
Yeah, it was good. What did you learn
Fire.
from that, though?
To be honest, I wanted to I'm a sort of outspoken person, as is. I wanted to not be. I wanted to sit back and sort of just watch them and, learn, Like, they've done so much more than I have. She was the first female on the cover of the Rolling Stones. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
That's a big deal, and so I was just like, the way that she, talks to the band, the way she directs them, the way she knows exactly, and I'm pretty good about that stuff. I know what I want, I know how I like to sing it, but there's like, how do you do everything in a nice way without being bossy, but also know what you are as an artist and how you communicate that to the rest of the group. It was interesting and how the group responded to that, who is equally as they're on the same playing field. It's not like, one person and the band. The band is at the same level. So it's like, it was interesting to watch how they would communicate with each other.
Yeah. Interesting. I mean, I would, like I said, I would actually, I was glad I went to go see it. I was glad our team was there seeing that, because you get invited to a lot of things, as we all know, but we can't make everything. But it was such an honor to be there to see these people. And Alan was taking photos of you. Andrew was there. Terry was doing interviews for me. And I got a chance to see, this is what it's all about, having everybody interview and be taking photos of people that they didn't think they would ever have to be in the same photo with.
Yeah.
And I got a chance to sit back and watch this. And I just remember, Alan's got his camera there, and I forgot who the guy was. And he's this famous guitar player. And I'm like, Alan, let me take a photo. So I grabbed his camera out of his hand and took a photo with him. And I'm like,
wow.
And I'm like, you gotta have these things, because these moments don't come back, because the way people are passing and leaving the planet is like, it could be that last moment, unfortunately.
Yeah, and then you always wish that you had
done it.
Yeah. I mean, there's, back in the day, there was those times when you couldn't, you're not supposed to take photos of people. I remember having a disposable camera. If I had never had taken my first picture of me and Oprah, there wouldn't be one. But I'm like, I don't care. It's Oprah. I'm taking this photo. I took it in the middle of her security detail.
Wow.
And then there was a wall like this of all females, and they were protecting her. It was me, her, and I got this photo, and there's like 50 print people, literally 50 print people, because they were all running trying to get an interview, and I was with her. And It was for the book The Eyes Were Watching God for ABC, and this was in 2005. And I'm like, I just remember I gave my camera, my disposable camera, and this woman picks it up. She goes, "How do you work this?" And I'm like, "Oh no!" I'm like, "Just take the photo, just point it and click." And she goes like this, and then someone asked Oprah a question. So there's a photo of her Oprah going like this, and she looks like she's a mannequin, but it's really Oprah because it's in between her security cars that she had.
Very
That's
cool.
awesome.
That's like inspiring. Just like, don't worry about it. It's Oprah.
Yeah. And then I'm like, Oprah. I hope the photo came out. So I had to run to go get it developed at that point, and luckily it came out.
Man, those days of development.
Yeah. Literal.
Now I can like print like a photo from my phone.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
All right, coming up, give your websites one last time. What's happening with you before we leave?
Got my first single coming out. Got some performances. Check out all the stuff going down. Kirsten Collins.
Woo!
And your websites? So people don't know, not that they don't know, but for those new fans.
I mean, I don't have a website, so...
Your social media.
Yeah, social media. Google Kirsten Collins. All it is.
All it is.
And Victoria?
I'm Victoria Plummer on Instagram and YouTube, Victoria Renee Music. Everything else, Victoria Renee Music. My website is victoriaplummer.com. victoriaplummer.net. I changed it. I'm sorry, I forgot.
That's why I always ask.
I do, yeah. I was victoriareneeofficial.com, but it goes into victoriaplummer.net.
Yes.
So I keep my acting and my singing separate.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's why I always ask, because a lot of times people are watching this show and they want to go on, as you know right away. Who am I telling you? You already know these things. But anyhow, I want to thank you guys for coming, and Victoria for coming in last minute. Thank you so much, because I really wanted you guys to meet.
Well, thank you
and
so much
thank
for
you,
having
because
us.
you got a busy schedule, no matter where you may be, so that's important.
Hey, it's exciting, and I always love meeting new people. And, you're all right.
Yeah, she's actually okay.
Yeah.
I want to thank everybody. This is Brian Sebastian, Movie Reviews and More, and you can catch me on YouTube, www.youtube.com/movie reviews, the letter N more. And if you see someone without a smile, please give them one of yours. And we will see you next week, because we're getting into Emmy season.
You're listening to Movie Reviews and More with Brian Sebastian, only on LA Talk Radio.